In our practice today, we're going to find contentment in body and mind with the mantra, I am enough. Let it be enough to simply breathe. Let it be enough to move your body and create a sacred space. Let it be enough to brush your teeth and feed yourself 3 times a day. Let it be enough to survive another week of quarantine. You're doing great. Now get on your feet. Let's get started. Let it be enough to be in this space, your yoga space. That's perfect. Whatever clutter, whatever's happening. Take one more breath with me. Exhale. Breathing in, swoop your arms up over your head. See your fingertips connect. Breathing out, circle your palms back down by your sides. Chin to chest, the end of your out-breath. Do that 2 more times. Let it be enough to flap your wings, to breathe. Exhale, soft like wings flying down by your sides. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Now just the right arm lifts. Breathe in. Exhale, lean to the left for the out breath. Inhale, rise both arms high. Exhale, right arm down by your side, lean to the right. Inhale, coming back up, grab onto your right wrist with your left hand and gently pull your right arm up and over to the left. Inhale, both arms rise, switch your grasp, holding onto that left wrist, reaching up and over to the right. Now come back up 1 more time, shift all the weight onto your left foot, crisscross right leg behind you, and clip the outer edge of your foot to arch through the whole side body. Awesome, coming back up, breathe in, gradually getting longer with every round. Exhale as you reach. Good. Inhale, coming back up, feet hips width apart. Exhale, fold forward, relax your crown down. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, slide your palms up your shins or your thighs, be generous with yourself. Exhale as you fold in a little deeper, soften your knees. Now do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften and chin to chest. Last one, inhale to lengthen. This time as you fold forward, stay there, 3 good breaths. Grabbing opposite elbows, you can interlace your hands behind your back, send your knuckles up and over. 2 more breaths. Maybe you pedal out your knees, or the legs get to lengthen a little more. Now find that half lift on your in-breath. Exhale, bring your right foot back into a lunge. Keep the right hand rooted beneath your shoulder. Inhale, lift your left arm up into a twist. Now for the breath out, wrap your left arm around your left thigh. Take your left hand to your heart and round your spine, looking back at your right leg, cat pose in the back body. And then we'll open up again. Left arm lifts. Exhale, wrap your arm around your thigh, chin to chest. Lift through that right heel, squeeze through that right knee. And do that again as you lift your left hand up, press your right heel back. 1 more time to curl in on the breath out. Then breathe in, lift your left arm high. Hold it there for 3 good breaths. Shoulders on your back. Ribs curl in. Ground through that left heel and your big toe. Then pull your left hip back a little more. Strong through the right leg. 1 more round. Now on your breath out, place your left hand down. Walk your hands over to the right to the long edge of your mat. Turn your toes in and find a long spine, halfway lift. Exhale as you fold in. And we'll take 3 breaths like this. Relax your head, shake it off. Or grab opposite elbows again. Consider pressing into the outer edges of your feet like you wanted to rip your mat in half. Feel the outer ankles release. Leaning your hips forward just a little more. Light up the hamstrings. 1 last breath. And then work your way around to the other side so you can frame your right foot with your hands. Your left palm's going to stay on the ground. Inhale to lift your right arm up just for the one breath. And then we pulse. So the right arm wraps around the right leg, hand to heart, chin to chest, lift through that back heel. And then inhale as you stretch apart like a sunflower, turning towards the sun, open up. Exhale, curling in. One more time, twisting just a little more with every round. Exhale, wrap. Now this time we'll lift that right arm up and you can hold it there. Feel your shoulders glide back. Activate the lower abdominals. Feel the charge in that left leg and glute. Take one more breath in. Exhale, bring your right hand to the floor and step back into downward facing dog. We'll take 5 breaths here, so you can pedal out your heels if you want. Maybe stillness feels best. You are enough. Your hamstrings are long enough. Let it be enough to settle into your dog pose. Equalize the weight in all 4 paws. There's nothing lacking, there's nothing missing, nothing to do. Just breathe and be. One more. Soften your knees to the floor, bring your big toes to touch, send your hips back onto your heels, and rest your forehead on the mat for child's pose. Now that you've got into this flow state of mind, connecting the body and the breath, you might find it's a little easier to drop it, to arrive, and to witness who's on the mat. Let it be enough. To breathe. To be in your little sanctuary. If there's anything else you need to give yourself a pep talk for, or need to forgive yourself for, you're patting yourself on the back. A moment to do just that. We made it through week 10 of quarantine. Huge. With this long weekend ahead of social distancing, let it be enough to survive, even if you might have had to change some plans. This is enough. With love, one more breath in. Let it out. Coming onto your hands and knees, find your tabletop. Take your time to stack wrists beneath shoulders and knees beneath hips. On your breath in, melt your heart towards your mat, lift your chin for cow pose. Exhale as you round your spine, tucking the chin in, pressing into cat. Then we'll do cat-cow a few more times. Add a wrist stretch for your right hand. Take the back of your right hand to the mat so your fingernails are pointing towards your knees, and then do the cow shape in the spine, followed by the cat, rounding down. And give the other wrist some love. So now the left fingernails on the floor. Open your heart, look up. Exhale as you curl. Now with the palms facing down, spin your fingertips away from one another and then backwards towards your knees. Keep a little bend in your elbows. Melt your heart, lift your chin. Exhale, press. One more of those. Inhale. Maybe the heels of the palms lift so you get more into the fingers. Exhale, press. Spin those fingertips forward. Walk your hands forward. Come into a modified plank pose. It's enough to stack shoulders over wrists, to lengthen your tail, to activate your abdominals. Feel your hands push the floor down and forward, rounding the upper back slightly. Take another full breath in. And then exhale, slowly bring your body to the floor. When you land, walk your fingertips wide off the edges of your mat with your elbows pointing towards the sky. Relax the tops of your feet onto the ground. Then breathe in as you lift your head, your heart, loop your shoulders back. Now as you lower your chest towards the floor, bring your left ear to the ground as well. Do that again. Inhale, lifting the head, the heart, looping your shoulders back, look up. Exhale, right ear to the mat. Inhale, rise again. This time as you take left ear towards the mat, draw your left shoulder forward like you wanted to touch your shoulder head to the floor. Inhale, press into your fingertips, rising up. Now the right shoulder dips forward, right ear towards the mat. One more time for your neck and shoulders, lift up. Exhale, dipping the left shoulder forward. Try to look over the right shoulder a little more. Inhale to rise. Exhale, other side, looking over the left shoulder. And as you breathe in, lift your chest, lift the shoulders back, pause here. Press into the tops of your feet, feel the tone in the abdomen, lift through the front of your waistband, breathe in. And then exhale, slowly bring your body back down. We'll give the shoulders some love. So take your right elbow out to the right, line up your elbow with your shoulder, and then your fingers will point straight ahead. Roll over onto that right elbow, that right hip. The left toes can swivel behind you. Just breathe into your right chest, your pec. Option to spin your right thumb towards the ceiling so the outer edge of your right hand is on the floor. You might feel that in your bicep as you twist a little more. Come onto your stomach, switch out your arms. Right elbow wide. Leaning over onto the other side. Spin your thumb up. One more deep breath into that beautiful heart of yours. Rolling back onto your stomach, have your hands on the mat by your shoulders so you can press into an extended puppy pose. So once you make your way to your knees, keep your hips over the kneecaps, walk your hands forward, relax your forehead down onto the mat. And this might be enough for you. It could be your downward dog variation. Let the triceps spiral to the ground, feel the elbows creases reaching for your index fingers. Into the thumb, the index a little more. Take another breath. You can stay in your extended puppy pose or make your way into downward dog. Lifting your chest, walk your hands in a bit, tuck your toes. And if you're making that dog pose, have it feel just like the extended puppy with a long spine, the triceps that wrap, the elbow creases that see the index fingers. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, walk your hands backwards toward your feet. Coming to the back of your mat, soften your knees. Curling your tailbone towards the ground, bend your knees deeper and make your way into chair pose. So the hands can travel forward and by your shoulders, in line with your shoulders. Let your hips travel back, deepen your knees just a little more. Feel that tilt in your tailbone dropping towards the floor, hugging the low belly in slightly. Now simply swing your arms back behind you like you have airplane wings. Broadening through your chest, the shoulder blades squeeze. Move the hips back like someone's pulling on your palms. Deepen your knees just a little more, exhaling. And as you rise up, lift your arms up over your head. Feet or hips width apart, we'll take a standing back bend. Elbows open wide, lift through your heart. Stay in your shape for one more breath. Press down into your toes, lift up with your kneecaps. Good. Inhale, re-extend your arms overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Feel free to softly bend your knees. Now as you inhale, look forward and walk your hands out into plank pose or modified plank pose. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Exhale, move through your chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, pull your heart through your arms, upward dog. Exhale, navel to the spine helps you come back home, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Stretch your right leg to the sky, nice and high. Exhale, right knee to the right elbow, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, kick it high, three-legged dog. Right knee, left elbow, twist and touch. Inhale, last one, kick it up. Drawing your right knee towards your nose and then step it through. Take your hands up to your hips as you rise into a high lunge. Loop your shoulders back. Take a breath in at the top. Knit your elbows in towards one another. Exhale, soften that back knee so it hovers just an inch above the earth. Inhale, re-extend. 4 more of these. Exhale, tailbone takes you down. Breath carries you up. Last 3. Ground into the big toe of the front foot. That'll help you stabilize. For 2. Last 1. Exhale, sink, rise back up again. Now come to that low version of your lunge. Hover there. See if you can move your hips back, move your chest back, loop your shoulders back, and float your heart up. On your next breath out, softly lower your back knee to the ground. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Fold your left elbow so you can place your left hand on your upper back and then catch that left elbow with your right hand. Give your left arm a tricep stretch. You can stay vertical or start to lean to the right, and we'll get into the psoas. Keep grounding through the big toe of that front foot. Imagine you could pull the floor down and back. One more breath. Inhale, let the arms rise overhead. Exhale, place your hands down on your blocks or your mat. Shift your hips back and lengthen through your right leg. Coming into your half splits, let it be enough to simply breathe. To find softness in your jaw, your shoulders, or more deep breaths. Try to finish every exhale so you can create more space for the next inhale. Even when you think you've breathed everything out, try for a little more. And then the breath in gets even longer. Last one. Okay, extend long through your arms. Pivot your right toes open towards 3 o'clock. Walk your hands to the right side of your right leg. We'll stretch the outside of your thigh. Try to pull that right hip back. If your left toes swivel off your mat, it's all good. Do your best to anchor your right foot, ground into the outer ankle, push down and back. Breathe into what you're feeling. Now lengthen through your arms. Keep the external rotation of your front leg. Just walk your hands around so they're inside of that front leg. Then bend the right knee. Walk your palms forward. Come into a lizard pose or runner's lunge. With your hands inside of the ankle. Loop your shoulders back. Option here to bring your elbows to your mat. I tend to sway side to side in this shape. Just make sure your toes and your knee are always facing the same way. Quad stretch if you wish. Right hand will reach for the left foot. Drawing your heel towards your seat or move your seat towards your heel. Breathe. And release your foot if it's in your hand. Rise up onto your palms, tucking the back toes under. Lift your back knee and step it back to plank. Take a deep breath in. Organize your bones. Exhale, chaturanga, shoulder shrug on the way down, elbows in. Inhale, flip to the tops of your feet, your thigh bones hover and up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Straight into the other side, stretch your left toes to the sky. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, press it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, big kick, last one. Exhale, big step through. Hands to your hips, rising up into your lunge. Shoulders back, lift your chest, breathe in. Exhale, dip your right knee towards your mat. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, 4. Inhale, rise. 3. 2. Last full set. Find your depth, rise back up again. And then come to that low version of your lunge where things get a little shaky, but you can still breathe okay. Press back through your heel, move your hips back, lift your heart up. Slowly lower the back knee to the mat. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, right hand to the upper back. Catch your elbow with your left hand, leave it behind your head. From grounded knee to lifted elbow, breathe in, and then lean to the left. Two more breaths. Inhale, unwind, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the earth, shift your hips back. 5 breaths into the left hamstring. Breathe in. Breathe out. Two more long breaths. Stretch it out. With your hands underneath your shoulders, start to turn your left toes open. Walk your hands over to the left side of your left leg. The right toes swivel. No big deal. Pull that left hip back either way. Round through the outer edge of your left foot and keep it active. Curl the toes back. Awesome. Now we'll keep the toes turned open towards the left. Just walk your hands to the inside of your left leg. Then walk your hands forward, bending the left knee over the ankle. Widen your stance if you like. Little shoulder shrug, lift through your chest. And then exhale. The elbows might find the mat or a block. Breathing into the inner left thigh, the outer left hip. Quad stretch. If you did that on the other side, shifting the weight into your right hand or elbow. Left hand reaches back. Awesome. Releasing your foot, hands to the earth. Tuck the back toes straight. Straighten the back leg and find that high plank pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, cycle through Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. I am enough. This is enough. One more deep breath. Now bring your feet wide as your mat. Elevate your heels nice and high, and then bend your knees like you're squatting into Malasana. We're going to practice a few hops. So see a little bounce in the knees. You're going to land back in this spot. But try to keep the arms straight and see if you can hop your feet off the floor, clap your feet together, and then land back here. Ready? Exhale. hop off the ground, clap the feet, and land back in your bouncing dog. Do that again. Exhale, hop off the ground, clap your feet, land back in your bouncing dog. Do that one more time and see if you can clap your feet and then hop the feet up behind the hands for Malasana. Exhale, clap your feet, and then Malasana is where we'll meet. Hands to the heart, drop the tail, drop the chin. Take one more deep breath, deep in the hips. And slowly bring your hips to the mat. Bring your knees in front of you for boat pose. Float the feet so your shins are parallel. Loop your shoulders back, lift through your heart. Now on your exhale, come into low boat. Hover your heels, hover your shoulders. Inhale, rise back up, big toes together. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to rise. Exhale, low boat. 2 more times. Inhale, big toe squeeze to the midline. Exhale. It's like one leg holding the other leg up. Lift up. And then come down. Stay in your low boat. Cross right thigh over left like eagle. Right elbow under left like eagle. Breathe and create space between your elbows and knees. Breathe out. Connect elbows and knees. 9 more of these. Inhale. Reach. Exhale. Make contact. Inhale. You are enough. 8. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. After this last one, we're switching our bind. Make contact and then unwind. Left thigh over right, left elbow under right. Inhale, expand. Exhale, connect. For 9. Squeeze the inner thighs. 8. Feel the sweat. Be grateful for it. 7. You're alive today. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Finish strong. Make contact. And then when you unwrap everything, bring your arms up overhead, feet to the mat, bend the knees, and lift the hips. Breathe into the abdomen, let it expand. Now, if you'd like to find a supported bridge, you can grab your block and just slide it underneath your hips and hang out there. Or you can interlace your hands behind your back for an unsupported bridge. Or we're going to bring it into a full wheel if you're ready for that. Take your hands to your mat by your shoulders, elbows pointing up. Lifting the heels for a moment, take the crown to the ground. Exhale. Roll your shoulders back, squeeze the elbows and knees towards the midline, and then lift your head. Lengthen through your legs. 2 more breaths. Good. And chin to chest, go slow as you lower your body to the floor. If you have a block underneath you or interlaced hands, move that aside. And then we'll just take the feet as wide as the mat, tuck your knees side to side. Go ahead and interlace your hands behind your head, hang out. Do a little more love for the psoas. Tilt your knees towards the left. Crisscross left ankle over right thigh. And then try to guide your right knee forward and towards the floor. Lengthen your tailbone like you're doing cat pose. And then do your best to snuggle your right ribs towards the earth. Breathing into that right hip bone. If it's bothering your knee, you don't have to do the crisscross of ankle over thigh. All right, other side. Uncross the left ankle, swivel your knees up and over to the right. And the right ankle can weigh down the left knee. Lengthen through the tail, lift through that left hip bone. And then breathe. Uncrossing the ankle, turn the knees up, and find a happy baby. Holding onto your inner thighs or your inner feet. Feel free to rock it out, straighten one leg at a time. All right, what do you say? Let's rock up into Malasana. So you can hold on to the back of your thighs, but keep your feet wide. As many rocks as you like, and then eventually you're going to reach between your legs and hover your hips up off the mat. Nice. Now we've been here before. Let's take it into Bakasana, crow pose. Place your hands on the floor, shoulder distance apart. Elevate your hips so you can take your knees up towards your upper arm bones. And then shift your shoulders forward. Come onto your tippy toes. Now looking forward, feel your feet come together from the big toes all the way up to the heels perhaps. Find that inner squeeze of the belly drawing in and up. You've got this. You are enough. Take another breath in. Exhale, step or shoot it back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Whatever did or didn't happen, let it go. One more deep breath. And inhale, lift the right leg. Set up for your pigeon pose with your right knee towards your right wrist, toes towards the left. Lower your hips down onto your block or your pillow or the ground. Just take a moment to lift your chest. You can have the right hand on the right knee, the left hand on the right foot. Roll the shoulders back, lift your heart. And then exhale, walk your hands forward. And mindfully count 8 breaths. Try not to lose track. That'll help you stay focused. In my mind, it sounds like inhale, exhale, followed by the number. About halfway there, see if there's any tension you could let go of in your shoulders or your brow, between the eyes. Just let your hands walk up. Pull that right heel in a little bit. Since we did our back bend, our quad stretch, find king pigeon. Reach your left hand back, bend your left knee. And then you can hold on to that foot, or maybe the foot makes its way into your left elbow crease. Rather than leaning onto the right hip, think about pushing your right shin through the floor and then hover your hips off the ground. From there, you could drive the right hip back, drive the left hip forward, breathing deeper into the psoas, the hip flexor, maybe the right arm lifts, or the two hands can clasp behind the head. 3 more breaths. And release. We'll make our way through 3-legged dog on the way to a wild thing. So keep the bend in the right knee, shift all the weight into the left hand, spiral your right toes around for 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Push off your right foot, flip over. Exhale to release your right foot to the mat, shifting all your weight into it. Lift the left, breathe in. Exhale, slide your left shin forward. Lower your hips. Right toes straight back behind the right hip, and then we'll lift the chest. Take a breath in. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Begin again. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Notice if you're rushing into that next breath in. What are you rushing for? You got nowhere to go. Give yourself permission to take it slow. Halfway home. up for your king pigeon. It helps to pull the front heel in a little bit. That way you won't roll over onto that left hip. Right hand grabs the right foot, or the toes slide into the kneecap. We're going to press down to lift the hips up, and then drive that right hip forward. Pull the left hip back. The left arm can reach, or the two hands clasp. Breathe. Look at you, doing great. Open your heart, one more breath. And then release. Right hand stays on the ground. Flip your left leg up into three-legged dog, and then all the way around to wild thing. 2 more breaths. And then push off your left toes, flip yourself back. Find that downward facing dog. Settle into stillness. 2 more. Feel your tailbone lengthen as an extension through your arms. From here, we'll make our way to a seat. If you're working on your jump through, follow my lead. You can put blocks under your hands or lift the palm arches up. That's where I'm at. And then lift the heels. Bring your feet together. Look forward. And as you exhale, bend your knees a lot. Think about cat pose in the spine. Draw that low belly in. And then with that mula bandha strength, see if you can hop your feet through your hands. Have a seat. Once you find your seated position, pull your sits bones out from under you. Feel free to bend your knees. Let it be enough to ground through the sitting bones. And then reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. From the low back, take a breath. Let it release all the way down to the low belly. From the middle back, expand. Allowing your heart to melt deeper down. Check in with the shoulders, away from the ears, long through the neck. Broad through the collarbones, lead with the throat. 1 more breath. Spine rolls up, notch by notch, breathe in. Invite a bend in the right knee, so you can place that right foot outside of your left thigh for a seated spinal twist. Your right hand's going to come behind you. Lift your left arm high. Exhale, hook your left elbow outside your right thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist from the low belly. Breathe into the ribs. Twist the ribs. Check in with that right shoulder. If it's lifted, do a little shoulder shrug, drop it down, and then turn your chin back over it. 1 more breath. Awesome. Inhale as you unwind your spine. Then take a brief counter twist to the left on your exhale. Come back around to center. Hands behind your back as you stretch the right leg long. Bend the left knee, left foot outside the right thigh. Right arm high. Inhale. Right elbow outside left thigh. Breathe. Twist. Breathe. Twist. 1 more. Unwind. Brief counter twist to the other side. Coming back to center. Bring the feet together with the knees wide. Give yourself a little foot massage. Thank you, feet. I don't know what I would do without you. Pull on each one of your toes. What would you do without those? Work your way around towards the tops of the feet, or the shins, ankles. And sit nice and tall. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your heart into your soles. breathing into rise. A few options here for your final rest. If you'd like to keep your legs like this, you can lie down on your back just like that. You can also take your blocks behind you if you have 2 blocks at home for a supported heart opener and hip opener. Otherwise, you could bend the knees together, hold on beneath your thighs, and roll down onto your back to make your way into Shavasana, corpse pose. For just a few minutes to rest and to receive all the benefits of your practice. If you're doing the heart opening variation, you have 1 block behind your shoulder blades and 1 block behind your head. Wherever you end up, exhale. Nothing you should do. Let it be enough. To relax your jaw. To soften the space around your eyes. Do your best to truly relax your body into your mat. Be alive. A pattering in your chest. The movement of your breath. You are enough. Notice though when the mind says otherwise, when it tries to complicate things, douse it with illusion. This act of doing nothing, whether you're in Shavasana or social distancing, you're not actually doing nothing. You are doing something. You could be saving the life of someone by choosing to stay home and give yourself permission to let it be enough. Of course, this is your time, this is your life. Stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like. But if you're ready to be guided out, simply deepen your breaths, 1 round at a time. No rush into that next breath in. With gratitude, wake up your body, starting at the edges, the toes, the fingers, grateful for each one of them. Taking a moment to stretch your arms long overhead, like a big yawn, a good morning stretch. And rolling off your blocks, rolling onto one side in a fetal position, born again. Pause there. To do nothing at all. Let it be a checkpoint. To notice when those old habits start to arise. Quit shitting all over yourself. Let it go. And take a moment to rise into your seat. With contentment in your heart, knowing you are exactly where you're meant to be. Just sit for a moment and acknowledge yourself. Pat yourself on the back for showing up to your mat, for breathing, using your whole capacity for breath to expand your capacity for life. Let it be enough to stretch your body, open your hips, your spine. Meet yourself here. No waste of a life. Instead, you are a curious, conscious mind, just exploring what it's like to be in this human form on this side of the dirt. What more can you be grateful for? I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. The light in me honors the divine light within you. Namaste.